Hi, I'm Shirlaine from TSC Tuition, and today I'll be talking about TEEL. If you've started writing essays in class, chances are you'll have heard of TEEL. This is the acronym that most teachers use across, I would say, most schools in Victoria in teaching our students how to write a body paragraph in a text essay. And the overriding principle of TEEL is to give students a structure so that they know where to start and where to finish a body paragraph. Once students get more comfortable with TEEL, they can start playing around with the structure of the body paragraph a little bit more. But until then, we teachers and tutors generally tell our students to stick to TEEL because the structure is actually going to help you make the most of what you know about the text. So with that being said, let's get right to it. T stands for topic sentence. Your topic sentence is the first sentence of your body paragraph, and it should be the main idea of what your body paragraph is about. Now, the thing is, I did say one sentence. If you needed more than a sentence to talk about what this main idea is, you need to go back and do a bit of editing. And the key to knowing whether or not your topic sentence is a really strong one is to have a think about whether or not it is an opinion rather than just fact. Of course, if your body paragraph is supposed to be about an idea, your topic sentence should also be an idea rather than what's happened, like a statement or a fact from the text. The first E stands for evidence. Some teachers will say that you need to explain your topic sentence a little bit. I personally am not in favor of that because if you've done a good job on your topic sentence, there really shouldn't be a need to elaborate on what your idea is. Instead, we should just get straight to it. Also, if you just go ahead and explain your topic sentence a little bit more, then what you're really doing is just making claims that you haven't really substantiated. So my preference is to just go straight for evidence. Your evidence sentence should be, again, one sentence, and it should include a quote of some sort. Now, if you're studying a book or a novel, a quote is, of course, what you're going to put in as your evidence. It shouldn't be a scene or anything that you can't put inside quotation marks. If you're studying a multimodal text like a film or a graphic novel or even a play where there are things, beyond things that you can put inside quote marks, make sure that they are specific bits of evidence. If you're studying a film, make sure that it's something that you can, put a timestamp on it. If you're studying a graphic novel, we need the exact panel that you're talking about. The reason I ask students to put up really concrete pieces of evidence like this, rather than just talking about general things that happen in a text, is because it's really hard to say something about nothing. So you might as well make your job easier for yourself and give yourself something to talk about. The second E is for explanation. This is where it gets really difficult for most students, I would say, because after all, what are you explaining? The question that we, TSC Tuition, teach all of our students to answer is, how does the evidence prove your topic sentence? Now, your explanation should be twice the length of your evidence. So if you've got one sentence for your evidence, then you need 2 sentences. If you've got 2 sentences for evidence, you need 4 sentences. The reason why it needs to be double the length is because this is where you get your marks. This is where you show your knowledge of the text. This is where you explain your interpretation of the quote. This is where you're really talking about your opinions of the text. And hey, guess what? This is what you're getting marked on. So it makes sense, really, that the explanation needs to form the bulk of your body paragraph. In explaining your evidence, you don't have to use more quotes. Of course, if you do have quotes that you can insert, by all means go ahead, that's a bonus, but it shouldn't be the focus of what you're saying. A lot of students make the mistake of trying to fit in as many quotes as possible, thinking that's going to demonstrate knowledge of the text, and it does to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, if your focus is to put in as many quotes as possible, then what you're not doing is explaining those quotes. So I would rather students explain one key quote really well without any other quotes than try and put in 10 different little quotes and not do a good job with any of them. Once you've explained your evidence, you need to repeat evidence and explanation again at least one more time. So in a TEEL body paragraph, you should have topic sentence, evidence, explanation, and then maybe one more, evidence, explanation, before you finish. When you finish, we finish with a link sentence. When we link, we're really linking back to your contention, which you should have stated in your introduction. We link back to your contention instead of the next body paragraph because it keeps you on track. If you're the kind of student who doesn't plan, and trust me, there are many of you out there, but if you're that kind of student, chances are you don't have a really solid grasp on what you want to do for the rest of the essay. So it makes sense, right, that you then link to your next body paragraph and then you finish that, and then you link to your next body paragraph and then you finish that, and then you've done 3 body paragraphs, so now it's time for the conclusion. When you write your conclusion, of course, you have to sort of restate what your contention is, right? So you look back at your introduction to see what you said for your contention, and then that's at the point where you realize, oh, hang on, I haven't actually talked about what I wanted to talk about in my contention. But the thing is, you've written 3 body paragraphs. It's too late. There is no saving that. I can't help you, no one can. The best you can do in that circumstance is go back and try and rewrite your contention in your introduction to make it fit what you did actually say in the body paragraphs. When you get to that point, it's really stressful and it's really hard. So the easiest thing to do actually is to link every body paragraph back to the contention, because chances are you finish your body paragraph, you are ready to write your link, and you look back at your contention and you realize, oh, hang on, actually I haven't really addressed what I said I was going to address in my contention. You can probably still write a few more sentences to wrangle it back to your contention to say what you originally wanted to say. Now, that is a much easier thing to save rather than try and rewrite a whole contention or rewrite a whole introduction to make it fit your actual body paragraphs. The added bonus of linking back to your contention is that it then refocuses you or reminds you of what you said your contention was, so that when you write your next body paragraph, it's fresh on your mind, and hopefully you'll do a better job in your next body paragraph on keeping on track. Now, when we link to the contention, what we're really explaining to your reader is, why did I just read that? Remember, your contention is the overarching argument of your whole essay. So if that's going to be your whole argument and you've just written, or I've just read your body paragraph, you need to explain to me how that fits into your contention. Does it address a certain part of it? Does it set up the basis for, the second half of your contention? What does it do? Now, of course, if you've done all of that and, you still want to link to your next body paragraph, that's fine. By all means, go ahead. But again, it shouldn't be the focus of what your linking sentence is. Going back to your contention is the #1 priority, and if you've got the space and time and energy to link to your next body paragraph, by all means, go ahead. Now, some teachers insert somewhere in that TEEL structure a views and values statement. Generally, this is a sentence that the teacher requires of the student to write something about the views and values of the author or the playwright or the director. Generally, I don't think that's a necessary addition to what the body paragraph needs, because if you've explained your evidence well, it should already be a part of it. And also, I think it feels a bit clunky if you have like an additional sentence in every body paragraph talking about the views and values of the author. I think it can read quite awkwardly, and it doesn't flow very well either because it's not really attached to any piece of evidence. But if your teacher wants you to write a views and values statement somewhere in the body paragraph, then you should go ahead and do that because your teacher is the one marking your essays. So I hope that was helpful. As always, like and subscribe to our social media so you get all of our latest tips and tricks to getting your best score in your VCE English subject. And if you'd like to get some one-to-one tutoring in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, please contact us and we can send someone out to you. Thanks for watching.